Okay, well, we're pretty sure that you've been around for the other classes on the videos, but if you haven't, there's a startup and fundamentals video that you should watch. Today I'm going to show you how to do a parts kit so you can start building something. So I'm going to do a file new. I'm going to pick a part, and I'm going to go straight to the front plane here. Left click, catch sketch, and I'm going to pick the rectangle, center rectangle, and I'm going to pull that out to 1 and 1, and we're going to do check mark, and I'm going to pick offset entities here. If you get something weird like this, just do X and try it again, and a lot of times it'll just come back to what it's supposed to be. All software comes with fun. Set this to 0.1, and you'll notice I made it a line on the inside. Okay, and we're going to ahead and smart dimension this thing right away. And you see it's fully defined because all of the relations we've talked about before are all there. And we're going to exit the sketch. We can do that here, or we can do it here. So if you like doing it here, you can. And we're going to go up to extruded boss base right here. I'm going to pull this part out to 1 inch and hit check mark. And I now have a 1 inch piece of tubing. Now we're going to make up a family here, so I'm going to do File, Save As, and I've already got some of these here, so I'm just going to go ahead and save this as a tube 1 inch 1 by 1, and it's just tube 1 inch by. I'm going to go ahead and capitalize that so it looks nice, and I'll say save, and I'm going to show you how to make another version of this. This is something you haven't done yet. You're going to go to Boss Extrude, click right, and you're going to see this one called Edit Feature. Edit Feature allows us to change things that we've already had on features. Now you notice this is showing our part with a 1 inch pull. Now I'm going to kick this up to 12 inches. I could just type the number in, but I always have fun watching it grow like that. Okay, now I have a 12-inch long tube. Hit OK, File, Save As, and I'm now going to just put a 2 here, or 1, 2. So now I have a 12-inch tube. And you can see I already saved a 2, a 4, a 6. I'll save that. And then I want one more. I'm going to hit right-click on that, Edit Feature, and I'm just going to type in 24. And you'll see my tube got really long there. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to do File. And I'm going to save it as. And you can guess, I'm going to type in 24 inch here. That's right, type in 24. 24 inch. And hit save. Okay, so now I have a whole different length, a whole bunch of lengths of pipe or tubing that I can use for assemblies. So we're going to go on to assemblies here in a second. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close this. So I'm going to do File, Close, and now I'm back to the base. And this time I'm going to do File, New, and this time I'm going to punch the Assembly button. This is the new one for you. You haven't used this yet. Hit OK, and it looks like this when we bring up the screen. Okay, we're going to want to put some parts in our assembly here, so I'm going to hit Insert right up here, Insert, Component, and I'm going to say Insert Component, Existing Part. Okay, and then I'm going to punch the push pin here, that'll hold that on, and I'm going to hit Browse. And I'm going to build a frame here, so I'm going to pick 24 inches and open that part up, and you'll see it gets attached to my mouse. I'm going to want a few of these because I want to build up a frame. So I'm going to build one there, I'll put one kind of there, I'll put one there, and put one there. And when I'm done, all I have to do is right click, or I should say just hit the escape key is the easiest thing. So hit the escape key and that'll stop putting that part in. Now I also want to put some cross members to this, so let's go use just 12 inchers for right now. So I'll go back and I'll do an insert, component, existing. I'll keep the push button on here for a minute, browse, and I'll say okay, I want to use some 12-inch tube and open that up. And I can use different techniques here, but I'm just going to pretend that I'm just going to put these over here for a minute. I'm just going to pile them up, and we're going to just hit X out of the insert component here. Okay, to move one of these parts around, all you have to do is right click on it and you can drag it as far as rotating it around like this. Okay, so I can just kind of like move it around until it's kind of right. Then I can left click it and just kind of drag it where I think I want to be. But this gets kind of crazy because you're in 3D right now and things can be really different, you know, where they're really located. So you can see I just finally crossed into that part, so I'm finally at the right elevation. But we don't have to worry about all that. What you're going to learn how to do is mating. Okay, so go up here and hit the assembly tab. And I'm going to click the mate button right here. And I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to pick the face of this. Now notice I can pick lines, but if I zoom in really close, you see I'll pick up that whole face. I'm going to pick that up. And then I'm going to turn, using my mouse button, my center mouse button, holding it down, I'm going to pick the face of this one. Notice I'm not picking a line, I'm picking the face. And you see how it kind of aligned up like that? I'll hit the check mark right here, meaning I like what I just did. Now that's part of it. Now we want to get this and this together. So I'm going to pick this face and this face. Okay. And I'll say, yeah, I like that too, because I'm starting to put these together. But I really wanted to put this end and this end of the tube. Now zoom way in, get the face of that tube. You'll see it suddenly disappear, and oh my, look at that. It's right where we want it. We just put a nice joint together. It took 3 mates to do that. Okay. Now I'm going to pick another one here. I'm going to pick this face and this face. And you notice those sort of went together. I'll pick this face, zoom in on this face, and those two went together. But you'll notice that there's one thing with a problem. You know, I can pull this away. Okay. And what I have to do is I have to pick this face. I'm just using left mouse clicks here, and you'll see I put that one together. Now I can take another tube, like this one, and just got to kind of like get used to looking at this stuff in 3D. I'll move this one out of the way so it's a little easier for me to see. So this time I'm going to make it, I'm not even going to try to orient them. I'm just going to pick this face and this face. Now they're already wanting to be together here. I'll pick this face and this face, and they want to be together. And remember, I wanted to actually put this together the other way, so I'm going to pick the end face here and this face, and that lines up those two faces. These are all called coincident mates. Now you notice I didn't actually have to put a mate on this one. It's not important that I do, because it's not like these are mechanically fastened. They're all being constrained in space. So right now I have a complete tube set. Okay. Now I'm going to do it again. So here we go again. I'm going to build the other side of the frame. So I'm going to drag this down so it feels a little bit better to me. And I'll even use the right mouse click to rotate it and hold it and drag it. So I've got the right mouse click held down right now. And same thing, I'm going to zoom around with my middle mouse button so I can turn it around and see this. Pick that. And I'm going to turn around. I want to pick this face right here. And sometimes it'll look kind of strange, but you just keep doing your faces and you'll all work out for you. Okay, and now I want to put this face right here. Zoom in until you can get the face. You don't want any edges, you want faces. And as you can see, it zings it right over into place for you. We'll pick this face, and puts those together, and you can see I'll slide it over here now. And I want to pick, just keep zooming in until you can get a good grab on it, that face. After a while you'll get used to working in your 3D world here, okay? It'll feel real comfortable to you. And I want this to line up with this. And once again, if you can't get the face, zoom in, okay? Once you zoom in, it'll become real easy to get it. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to do everything from long distance, and that's not good. So I'm going to pick this face. Okay, I slid on that one, so I'm just going to pick this face. And this face. Oops. See, that's a line. I don't want that. See the undo? I want to do undo. So I have to start again. So I'm going to pick this face and this face. Okay. And I want to pick this face, that face. And notice we still can slide this way, so we still have to fix that. So I can actually just pick this one over here and pick this face and that face. So as long as I'm all done, they all slide together like that, that's great. Okay, so we have two frames here. What we want to do is put this together with a couple more parts. So we're going to go back up and do Insert, Component, Existing Part, pin that, Browse, and let's pick the 12-inch tube. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and place that one. I need 4 of these, so I'll just put these over here. And then when I'm done, I can just hit X here, and I'm done with that. And now what I want to do is I want to put these as support members. These are going to be called columns now. So I'm going to kind of move this. I'm going to rotate a little bit so I feel better about how this is going together. I'm sorry, I just hit a thin click there, an extra click there. And I want to hit Mate again up here, Mate. And I'm going to click this face. And that face was already selected, so it'll line it up. And then I'm going to click this face. And I got to click the underneath side of this one because that's where I want it to go. Okay. And now you'll notice I can move it this way. So I still need to get that lined up. So we'll go over here and we'll pick this face and this face. And I hit OK. So now I've got that corner lined up. Let's go and do another one. I'm going to pick the end of the tube. And sometimes you're going to want to just take that right mouse, hold it down on there, and rotate a little bit so it makes it easier for you to see stuff. And then zoom, and then you can take this and just move it out of the way. It's just like working with real parts. You just kind of like toss them around however you want them. So I got this one a little bit more rotated the way I want it to look, but I don't have to because my constraints, my mates will take care of that. So I'm going to pick this surface here, and I'm going to pick the underside of this. And that gets that started. And now I want to pick this face, and that got that started. Now notice this slides around, so I got to get this and this lined up. So I'll pick this face, and I hit the OK on that one. I still have a couple more to do. We're getting there. I'll pick this one, and I'm going to rotate this around so I can work on this end. And I'll just go ahead and rotate this in space to make it a little easier to see that other side. This is called virtual modeling, everything we're doing here. And I'm going to go ahead and just rotate in here, and I'm going to pick this face here if I can. Okay, I got that face. I need to put that underneath here, so I'll pick that face. I'll pick this face and this face to be coincident. And this leg's still sliding around, so we have to go do something with that. So we'll pick that face and that face. And now those are together. I got one left to do. So now all I have to do is zoom in, get that face. I want to go underneath, so I'll get that face. Okay, then I want to have this to this. This is sliding around, so I have to go around the other side, just using my middle mouse button, holding it down. I rotate the whole assembly, and that face goes there. Okay, so I have that done. I have one thing left to do. I've got this part right here I want to attach to this. So what I'm going to do is this is just another tube as far as I'm concerned. I can pick that face and this face, and that'll line that up. And then I got to pick this face right here, and that face, and that's lined up. And you'll notice this slides around, so I kind of like want to keep my assembly together here. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pick this face and this face. Now what you've been maybe not noticing is over here with mate selections, you're going to get 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, and they're all coincident mates right now. So that's easy to do. And you'll notice we just built a structure. And for the factory people, this is pretty much what you may end up building for your base product. That this will be the frame of your project will be inside of this area. So this is how assemblies go. Okay, I'm working with pre-made parts that I already made. You saw how quickly I can make several parts just by going in and doing feature adjustments. And this should get you in pretty good shape to start building your projects. You make your parts and you just put them together. I'm going to show you a couple other mates here in just a minute. Just going to show you, I forgot to do this. We're going to do a save as, and this is an assembly now. And so we're just going to call this the frame assembly. It doesn't have to say assembly, I'm just saying frame assembly because that's what it is. And I'll save that. And I'm going to go ahead and close this now because we're going to create a different part here. File, New, and we're going to pick part because we want to make a part this time. And let's just go ahead and do a front sketch, and let's pick a circle, and I'm going to pull it out to 2 and hit enter, and pick offsets. I'm going to set it to 0.25, and I'm going to reverse it so it makes the offset on the inside. Hit OK. And then I'm going to hit exit sketch, and I'm going to hit extrude boss base, and I'm going to go ahead and make that about 1 inch. This is what's called a collar or a tube spacer, and it's pretty common. We're going to save that as a 1 inch spacer. So always you have to use a name in front because the naming systems don't like you doing it another way. So spacer 1 inch. Diameter and 1 inch long. It's pretty important that you save your parts with names that you can remember. Okay, so I have that one, and I'm going to go ahead and use my same trick I did last time. I've got this part already done. I'm going to right click the extrude boss base here, go edit features, and I'm going to make one 3 inches long. Okay. And I'll just hit OK here, and I'm going to hit File, Save As, and I can just use the last one and say, okay, this one's 3 inches long. Hit Save on that. Okay, and then I want you to go ahead and let's close that part because we were done with that one, and let's do one more new part. And I want you to get used to the flow here. You notice we're just kind of moving along. I'm going to click front plane here, do another sketch, do another circle, and this one I'm going to make 0.5 inches. Okay, and I didn't do it on the last one, but let's just make sure we keep dimensioning because I should have dimensioned that last one, but it's okay, it'll work right now. And then I'm going to do exit sketch, and I'm going to go to extrude, and I want to make this about, let's make this 1 inch long. And we're going to save this as a 1 inch pin. Okay, pin. You're going to have to be 1/2 inch 1 inch long pin. And save that. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and close this one. And now we're going to do File, New, Assembly. Okay. Now I'm going to pin this. I'm going to browse. And what I want to do is bring in the two spacers, one of the 3-inch. And then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to hit X here to stop bringing that one in. I'll do Insert Component, Existing, Browse, and I'm going to bring in that 3-inch. Okay. And then I want to bring in one more part. I'm going to bring in Insert Component, Existing Part. I want to bring in that pin that we made. There it is. Okay. Made that pin on too small, so I'm going to do a double check here. And I think this, tell you what, we're going to go ahead and leave it like that because it's going to be kind of an interesting mate. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit mate. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick the inside circle here, that cylinder, and that cylinder. And you notice they lined up. Well, the system automatically knew they were circular parts. So you see this concentric mate? It means it's going to line up the axes of these parts. And this is a terribly sized part, but it's going to give you an idea here. This would have been the axle. I just didn't pay attention to my sizes here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to pick the outer side of that. So in other words, let me just do that one more time. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm picking the inner surface of this, and I'm picking the outer surface of that. And I'm checking OK. Now if I swing around, you'll notice that it put it right in the middle. Okay? Even though it's not physically attached to it, it's right in the middle. And that's what we call concentric mates. Okay? In other words, it makes sure that the axis of this is the same as the axis of that. It puts them concentric. Now you're going to need this when you put certain parts together. Now notice when I did this assembly, I can slide this around, but it's still right down the middle. But the last thing I want to do here is I want to put these two together. So all I have to do is use the same coincident mate you've used before. Make sure it's a surface, and you'll see it's mated together. But I'm going to show you one little difference here. Okay, so this is a coincident mate, but I'm going to go pick one over here called, see this distance button over here? It's also here too, the shortcut menu, but I'm over here for distance. And I can put in here 1.000 inches. And you'll notice that it's mated now, but it left an inch bit between here. Okay? That's how you can do certain types of mates. You'll come up later, you'll be able to just say, okay, I want this to be coincident with this, but I want it this far apart. Okay? I can do that over here too. I can say, okay, well, I want this. Oh, sorry. I'll just click OK that last mate. Click this, and see how it wants to make them the same. But I'll just say, I'll go ahead and click my shortcut distance here, and it'll let me just set a number. So I'll say, you know what? I'm going to leave that at 1. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to leave that at 0.50 inches, and that'll kind of make an axle for me here. So in other words, you can start seeing like that. If I look at it from the end, it kind of looks like a wheel now. Now obviously you can't build parts that are held out in space like that, so there would have to be some kind of real constraints on that. I mean, real components to fill in that gap. But these are called concentric mates. Between coincident and concentric, you're going to use those the most. There's a couple more over here called parallel mates and perpendicular mates and tangent mates. But with all three of these plus the distance, you can put any type of machine together you want, any type of structure. You can build a skyscraper, you can build a dam, you can build a car. That's all you take, these right here. Okay, we're going to end there. This is about we're coming up on 25 minutes worth of video here. Hopefully this will allow you now to make your own assemblies. And I'm looking forward to, I'm sure you'll have a couple questions, but I think this will get you pretty well going on that. Okay, thanks.